Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, it's not me by myself. I have a few guests with me and we're going to have them introduce themselves.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm Dana.
I'm Kelly.
What up, Allison?
Yes, so these are my friends and they have joined me in this lovely feast that Allison is going to let us know what are we going to eat.
Let me get my menu.
All I know is a lot of food.
So the food we ordered from Silver Spoon in Brampton. And oh, they can't see the samosas. These are beef samosas. Malay, M-A-L-A-I, chicken,
Fish.
pakora. This is fish pakora. Dana's favorite.
Listen, it's called lollipop chicken.
Ooh.
It's really just chicken wings.
But biryani rice. We didn't get the chicken or
What kind of rice?
Biryani rice.
Biryani.
Right, so
The lamb.
the lamb, and it's lamb.
It's lamb.
Wait. It's lamb.
What?
You're not cursing in there.
K-A-R-A-H-I.
Right?
Sure. Why not?
This is Indian food.
Yeah, I don't think we.
And then we have our most popular chicken tikka masala and butter chicken.
Butter chicken.
And then we have some butter naan and some sauces
Oh, yeah.
and some red stripe.
And a cup of sauce.
Good. We're ready. We're hungry.
We
Let's
are.
do this.
Yeah, so we're gonna focus this mukbang with how we got to Canada, life in Canada, I guess. I mean, Alison chose the topic, and I think that's a great topic.
We
so-
all chose the topic. Yes, we
Sorry, we all
Except
chose the
her.
topic. Yes, because as you can see, this is a surprise to me, so I'm just working with it. But let's go. With my full belly, come, let's go.
Your belly's full? I make space.
Yeah, because you got a lot to go through, okay?
How about we do the rice?
One time I wish I had a rotating table.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or a lazy Susan.
Something.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think that entire table is the road because the plate would have got two.
That's true. That's true. It's a point. I didn't know it had a name.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lazy Susan.
Mm-hmm.
Why a lazy Susan?
Because Susan made it
Did
up.
lazy.
And she did
And she
lazy.
did lazy
And she
bad.
did lazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's pretty literal.
Very literal.
Sometimes it's not all that. It's just a little simple thing.
Some kill the goat to Jamaica.
Come, make us say a prayer, okay, everybody.
Oh, yes.
Close the
Yeah.
eyes. For health and strength and daily food, we praise thy name, O Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Take in.
The sauces, guys.
Oh.
I'm not sure where these sauces are to go.
I guess the white one is like a garlicky sauce. I didn't order any sauces. I'm not expecting.
Any
That
chocolate or little
spicy?
pepper?
Smells like a tamarind-ish kind
Oh,
of.
Ooh.
yeah, that would make sense. But which one I don't know about.
It goes gonna go somewhere.
The rice is nice. It's nice
It
and
really is.
fluffy.
So,
That sauce is really good.
I figured we would start with the first person who came to Canada.
Red.
Hi,
Oh,
everybody.
But no, I have to think myself.
That would be me. I got here in 2013, July of 2013,
Mm-hmm.
on a student visa. And I found and applied for a job as a caregiver, as a nanny, a live-in nanny. And through that, I got my work permit
Mm-hmm.
and was able to get my permanent residence.
You
through
didn't need certification to be a nanny at the time.
At the time, I think what happened with my employer was that she said that she had been doing a lot of interviews with people who were from Canada who had all the certifications, but she was just not impressed with any of them, and she was impressed with me, and she liked me because
Jamaicans.
well, that's true.
We're just
Thank you.
impressive.
We're very impressive.
Can I get a napkin, please? Sure. And because I had the interview at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and by like 3 o'clock she called me back and she was like, I need to hire you, and I'm willing to do whatever sponsorship that you need to get done to get the paperwork to get your work permit, which took a couple months because there's a whole technical process behind it. That because first of all, employers have to prove that they cannot find any Canadian residents to do the job first,
which
and
is
you
like.
Okay. So they did the labor market
They
impact
did.
assessment? Wow.
They did. But here's the funny thing though. At the time when they did it, it cost $250. Right?
Does it still cost that?
No, it cost $1,000 now.
Hello. Okay.
Because I think
so
by
many.
like 2 years after that, they were like, we need to stop having, I guess, caregivers, or we need to have more residents. We had too many. So they raised the price of it.
Is it specific to caregivers? Because up to, I want to say last year, LMIA, or rather 2018, LMIA was still $200.
I mean, that's what I was told, because when I was trying to reapply for my work visa, I applied under the wrong, there's a whole other story. I applied under the wrong
Wrong
code, and
Which
so I lost it.
In fact, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, because it's tricky, it's complicated,
Yeah.
and so I lost my work permit, and we were trying to reapply for the LMIA, and that's what we were told, that it's now $1,000 to do it. And maybe it's for the caregivers, because a lot of caregivers come here from like the Philippines and China to honor the program, and I guess they're trying to cut down on it.
The sorrel is good as well.
Oh,
But yeah.
so that's what happened, and then I lost my work permit, but I still had my student permit.
Wow.
So I was going to school, and I used.
How was that, losing your work permit?
It was the most frightening and
I could imagine.
terrifying, and like there was this huge weight on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And because of that, I also rushed through school quicker than I wanted to, because my thing was, if I'm gonna get kicked out of this country, I need some certification. So I rushed through school and did it as quickly as possible. And I was able to use my experience working for the 2 years as the caregiver to apply for under the Caring for Children class program to get my permanent residence, which that program, by the way, has now been closed. So they've been doing like pilot programs for the caregivers. So you had the living caregiver, then you had the Caring for Children class and Caring for Elderly class, and so there's a new program now. I'm not even exactly sure what that's about.
Wow.
So
if it's one thing with Canada, they're always changing programs and creating different streams and programs for different people to apply. They're so like immigrant friendly.
but you just have to keep up to date with
Yes,
what
because it changes
so
are
quickly. You really have to.
Yeah.
And like the best way is having that immigration number on hand.
Yeah.
I knew that number off the top of my head.
I still don't know.
I knew when to call. And when you're calling, you have to call at the lines open at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or something like that. Make sure that at 8:55 you're on that phone ringing, or else you will not
the immigration office.
The immigration office.
Yeah.
Or else you will not get through for the entire day.
Your wait time for a call is like 45 minutes.
And you better not hang up that phone.
No.
Or else
You lose your spot on the
you
line.
lose your spot,
Yeah.
and you have to start over, and then you're going to get, you're too busy.
Yeah.
You can't take any more calls right now.
Yeah. You have to call and like go do something.
So I did get my residency in 2017, and recently just putting my papers to get my citizenship. So
Whoop whoop.
yay.
Hey.
Hopefully by end of this year or mid next year or something like that, I'll hear something. So.
Cool.
That's my brief story.
Very interesting story. So, the next person that came up here other than me.
Are we not doing your story?
I'll say my story. Of course I will.
I'm showing myself.
What are you chewing?
The banana.
Oh, okay.
You're right, Alison. There's literally no potato in this.
Oh.
Yeah, like I know someone supposed to be this big
Yeah.
Fluffy.
triangle, this big pyramid, you know?
You want to taste it?
The nahari is spicy, so I'm gonna be sniffling this whole time. Stew beef is spicy.
It tastes good though.
It tastes good, but it's spicy. I didn't expect it to be that spicy.
Food is supposed to be spicy.
I thought you didn't
Yeah,
like
that's
pepper.
almost a year though.
This is just ground beef.
It sounds like it's disappointing.
It is.
Look a bit.
So
Yeah, it smells so.
I came to Canada December 2015 to go to school in January 2016. So I'm wanna call myself pretty thorough and deliberate. And for me, even though I started applying to school from 2014, 2015, I wasn't getting what I wanted, especially the course that I wanted. Can I have a napkin, please? So I used to work in public relations in Jamaica, and the options were business, to follow up my marketing and business degree from UTech, or do a certification in public relations in Canada. No, I didn't know what course to do. I did want to further my education. It wasn't just to come to Canada. And essentially what I did was I went to this website called schoolfinder.com, and I literally searched every single university in the entire Canada for different courses, different price range, different course outlines, different locations. So I checked on schools in Alberta, I applied to Centennial College, I checked on schools in Winnipeg. I didn't go as far as BC. Those schools just didn't entice me. And the courses were there. And I literally went through every school to see what they offered, what I feel like I would do or be comfortable doing. Because again, when I'm going to school, it's not just about the paper. I actually want to enjoy studying and working and learning something. Finally found it was between Centennial College and Red River College. And I had a friend, hence to pick up yourself. I had a friend from UTech who went to Red River College and was still going to Red River College when I messaged him. And he was doing international business and going through the same program that I was thinking of doing. So I reached out to him, asked him how is it going, what to expect. He says it's really easy. These are things that we learned back in college from 2007.
Yeah, she said it right. 2007.
2007.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Been a minute.
And stuff. So it's not, hard work, but it's a lot of coursework, a lot of group work and such. So I had a roadmap. I chose Winnipeg because school was really affordable compared to Toronto. And it's a course that was pretty diverse, so I could branch off wherever makes sense or wherever the opportunity would be. So came to Toronto first, had Christmas here, because most of my base is here. My friends are here. The person I knew in Winnipeg was Hensley, one person. And then I went to Winnipeg on the 1st of January. Yeah, I flew on the 1st of January. It wasn't horrible, but it was bad. And then school started on the 4th. I ended up getting a room in his apartment building on his floor. And then we've pretty much been roommates ever since until I moved to Toronto last year. But yeah, coming to Canada has been interesting. The journey wasn't bad. I had a nice, smooth sailing journey. The biggest issue I've had was waiting and learning patience. It's a real thing.
know.
It's a real thing. Learning patience is a real thing, because when they give you a roadmap and they say you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, you're gonna finish school and in fact file for your postgraduate work permit, and then after the postgraduate work permit is finished, then you have to do. What do you do after postgraduate? Nothing.
No, you work.
You work. Like I had a smooth sailing. I actually had apparently I had more time on my work permit than my friends did. Some of my friends got 1 year. I got a year, almost 2 years. I got 18 months on mine.
But isn't the postgraduate work permit based off of how long you've been doing school for?
Correct. But I got it when my passport expired, which was 18 months. So I had a good, a while to play with. I mean, some of my friends, my classmates and stuff, they had some complications between the company they work for and having to LMIA and moving from here to there and so on.
One of the fortunate ones.
Some of those issues, but it wasn't smooth sailing. I mean, the patience thing to me was a huge. When are they gonna answer? Why this person got it in 53 days?
Yeah.
Why is it taking me
Yeah.
6.5 months to get my response? Like it's. What did they look at? Winnipeg is a nice, comfortable, laid-back, interesting place to start out if you're not interested in the rat race of Ontario.
Rat race.
Is anybody full?
No.
No.
Yo. I'm really full.
So, the full one.
Yes, the full one.
Let us know your story now.
Huh. Story, I guess, a little similar but different. I came to Canada in August 2018.
Or did she?
I did. But I had made the decision to come to Canada in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
No lie, 2014. And I remember telling my employers in 2015 that I'm giving them notice. I told them I'm giving them 2 years notice.
5 years later.
I told them that I was planning to move to Canada and I was giving them 2 years notice because my plan was to leave in August 2017. Of course, they're a little taken aback because who gives 2 years notice? Because that's kind of crazy. I mean, technically they're appreciative.
If it was
of the
me,
notice.
I'm gonna say right now, bye. So she gave them 2 years notice.
I got 2 weeks on my job.
Normally 2 weeks.
I gave my
2
job
weeks.
I gave my job 6 months. I knew
6
I
months?
was planning like a year to 6 months to a year.
Before I even took the first step in the process of Canada,
So give them
Yeah.
say I'm going.
they knew I was going at some point. But because I knew I planned to come, I decided to get qualified before coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the time that I had before coming here to get qualified so that when I came here I could work. And I decided that I was going to go through the express entry program. So I did that. I got qualified, I got called to the bar, everything in 2017. But I didn't leave in 2017 as I had planned. And I ended up leaving to come to Canada in August 2018. The express entry never worked initially. I've come to the conclusion that I did something wrong that caused me to not have enough points. But I did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to, because I never had enough points.
Just like Kelly
Yeah.
did something wrong.
Oh, and that happened twice, by the way, to me.
Oh, good God.
There's a previous story. I'll go into that after.
And so I decided to come and go to school, which is really what the original plan was anyway. So I came, but unlike Allison, Toronto was it for me. I wasn't going to no Winnipeg to go and freeze today.
It's not that cool.
No.
Winterpeg.
Winterpeg. What? Yeah, the eye water and your eyes start to freeze. Kind of foolishness. The minus 40s. No, I wasn't having that rubbish. So I knew Toronto was it. So I decided to come and go to school, which I did. And I worked while I went to school. And a friend of mine that I was working with, who also does immigration, she's like, "Now you did something wrong with your express entry," and told me to go do it over. Lo and behold, I had all the points I needed. And so I was able to apply for my permanent residence and got it. But like Alice says, the wait was rough. I was in the express entry pool for about 24 hours, which was, I'm sure, some kind of record somewhere. Because I remember, Jessica remembers that night, I signed up for the express entry pool, and like,
Not
around-
even 24 hours.
for real, not even 24 hours.
There's
So like
no
midnight.
joke. No joke.
Like I filled out the form like midnight. And before I got home the next day, I had an invitation to apply for the
Really?
permanent residency.
Yes. Seriously.
It was-
I'm look on dinner like,
I came home and I told her,
Wow.
I'm like, I got my ATA. She's like, what? I'm like, and I sent it to her. She's like, crap. It's
like
true.
seriously,
Wow.
I've never heard of something like this.
I
Never.
wouldn't
I
have
was
heard of
leaving
that.
in the express entry pool for 24 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that is not the experience of most people.
Yeah. Mine was,
Most people, anybody ever.
I don't think I've ever
mine
heard
was,
that
I've never
before.
heard that one before. Mine was 3 days. To the point where the original profile I had was not uploading, and so I said, you know what, I'll just do it over. It's not gonna take me 20 minutes. Did over the whole profile on the 6th, got the response on the 9th, and I actually saw how it came down. So it was me and like 2 other friends from work who applied during that exact period of time. I said he got his response at like say 9 o'clock in the morning. I never get my response till 2 o'clock. I was like, why am I always late with my stuff though? Like why? Why everybody has to get in front of
They
me?
never itched with mine. In fact, it was a friend of mine who called me. She's like, you know, they did a draw today, right? I'm like, for real? Okay. And I checked my
Oh, okay.
profile. I was like, I don't even know how long the letter was there. But
Wow.
I was in that pool for less than 24 hours before I got my invitation to apply for my permanent residence. So I applied, went through the whole process, got everything I needed, and submitted my application March 1. And they say, you know, it's a 6-month process. So September came, which is the end of the 6 months, nothing. I don't hear anything. Can't hear nothing from anybody after the high of getting the letter in 24 hours. Nothing. I did not hear back from them until November 25th. November 25th is mine. Until November 25th. I was like, good God. And that whole time I'm wondering, did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
Did I put something wrong on the form? Do they have an issue with something? And I'm like, because when the time passes, your 6-month period passes, you get a note in your profile that says 80% of cases are finished within 6 months. But there are some cases that are more complicated than others that take up, and I'm like, really? What is it so complicated about my case? November 25th. But thankfully, January? I got my PR card.
Yeah.
So it worked out.
It
That's
did.
my little story. And I worked while I went to school, continued working after, got the PR after, so yeah.